Peter, can I just finish up with a couple of personal questions? You're
Sure.
married?
Yes.
You've got children?
Yep, 3 of them.
3?
Yeah.
How old are they?
My son is 6, I have a daughter who's 4, and
Yes.
a newborn who's 3 months.
And if, I always get asked a few questions because I think we're in the same sort of space. People always ask me, what's your favorite book that you've read? A financial book that sort of has a lot. What's your favorite book, would you
For
say?
me, I would have to say, I don't know if you've read it, it's called The Wealthy Barber.
No, I haven't read it.
It's called The Wealthy Barber. It's a very famous book in Canada because it's written by a Canadian.
Yes.
But in it, this is the book that got me into investing actually.
Yes.
But in it, he talks about how you don't have to be rich in
Yes.
order to invest and in
Yes.
order to retire happy.
Yes.
So his formula is like every time you get paid,
Yes.
do you pay yourself?
Yes.
So what he says is, okay, fine, when you get paid, you've got household expenses,
Yes.
that's fine.
Yes.
Then you put some in savings.
Yes.
That's what everybody does.
Yes.
But what most people don't do is they don't pay themselves.
Yes.
So you have your savings and you have, okay, savings and household expenses go
Yes.
to one side. But you need to start paying yourself as well.
Yes.
Money that you put into either a savings account or an investment or
Yes.
into property, investments to look to buy property in the future.
Yes.
And that has always stuck with me. So what I do is after, all my expenses are paid and I've saved money,
Yes.
then I pay myself
Yes.
personally
Yes.
for working at UAP Investments.
Yes.
And I put that in a separate account that I just, I invest my money in. So I
Yes.
invest in stocks and bonds and things like that. And that is not to be touched. That's for my future retirement.
Fantastic.
In addition, that's completely separate from your pension scheme and everything else that you have.
Yes.
So that's the money you use to kind of maintain your lifestyle
Yes.
in retirement.
Yes.
You have your pension money and everything, but that's a separate part.
Yes.
But the way he described it, it was just profound on me. It was called
Yes.
it's called The Wealthy Barber. It's a fantastic book.
must
So
be,
basically,
yeah.
he goes to his barber, and his barber is cutting his hair, and the barber asks him, he's worried about his retirement, and the barber is like, look, I've saved, all my kids are in college,
Yes.
I own my own house.
Yeah.
And the guy asks him, how did you do that? And the barber starts telling him, I pay myself. That's the concept of paying yourself first.
Yeah.
After you've done everything else, pay yourself, then
Yes.
you can have money to spend and do other things. But that was a book that also got me. I'm also a big fan of Michael Lewis as well.
Yes.
Yeah, The Big Short and books
Yes.
like that. Those are
Those are very
but
good.
his is almost
very insightful.
very insightful and
But
very
right at the cutting edge. of the
exactly,
markets, right?
exactly. And he's also he's a good writer because he keeps you engaged and he's
Yes.
funny and he's witty and things like
Yes.
that. So I like Michael Lewis as well.
On that note, do you think we're seeing more complexity come to our financial markets here? Are you excited by what you're seeing? I mean, coming back, I remember coming back myself, and you think, okay, this should happen, and then it starts happening. Are you seeing it happen at the speed that is making you convinced that we're
I
moving?
mean, maybe not at the speed, but for example, ETFs.
Yes.
We should have had ETFs in this
Why
market.
haven't we got them?
Well, it has to do with the regulator. The
Yes.
CMA. I think they're still going through how to basically structure it and everything, and the
Yes.
rules and regulations behind it. But something like an ETF, we should have had.
Yes.
Because I remember speaking to my brother when I came in,
Yes.
and I was in investing in Kenya is a very hard thing because you're competing against land.
Yes.
So when I came in,
Yes, and those returns have been so extraordinary.
exactly. So if you go tell someone invest in the stock market or land, chances
Yes.
are they'll go to the land.
Yes.
So I was having this discussion with my.
Can land continue to perform like this?
I think eventually look what happened in 2008 in the States and
Yes.
everything. The assumption was that land prices will just keep going up forever. I mean, eventually property will go up,
Yes.
but eventually I think there will be some kind of correction. There has to be because
Yeah.
it's the prices right out there are ridiculous. And if you look at it as well from a point of view of a reversion to the mean,
Yes.
there's always reversion to the mean.
Yes, yes.
And right now it just looks like property prices are just
Yeah.
crazy, to be honest. If you look at the, people buying houses and pieces of land now and flipping it 2 weeks later for 500,000 profit,
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is.
But I think Kenyans have a lot of faith in bricks and mortar. It's like what I found
They
with,
do.
with the British as well.
They do.
Touching on savings, obviously, because ultimately that's where your business does well. I mean, a lot of people that I meet, from bank managers to others, tell me Kenyans are not saving. Is that true, or is that not true, or do they haven't had the sort of menu in front of them, or what is it?
I think Kenyans save, but I think what they don't do is they don't save for retirement.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, you find that people, when they retire, I'll give you a perfect example. When I joined any company in Canada,
Yes.
the first week when you're doing your induction and everything, one of the first things they take you to is like, okay, fine.
Yes.
It's a defined contribution plan.
Yes.
Then they sit you down with a financial advisor.
Yes.
And he talks to you like, okay, how old are you? How many kids do you have? This and this and this. This is the kind of product you should be invested in.
Yes.
This is all on the company's dime because
Yes.
they're mandated by law to do that.
Yes.
So now you're already saving for your retirement. It's
Yes.
like you're almost forced to do it, which is good. But here in
Yes.
Kenya, there's not really that much of, people don't really think about retirement too much.
Yes.
And conversely, when you're old,
Yes.
that's when you need the money the most
Yes.
because your body starts breaking down, medical
Yeah.
expenses and everything like this. So I don't think Kenyans are necessarily ready for retirement
Yes.
because what they do is they buy a piece of land and they're like, okay, this is for my retirement.
Yes.
But land is, A, it's illiquid, it's hard to sell,
Yes.
and B, like, it doesn't give you, if you're living in that house, it doesn't give you the requisite returns. You need some
Yeah.
kind of financial portfolio. And one of the things you learn when you're doing your CFA, when you're looking at your assets,
Yes.
you have to consider everything. You don't keep them separately.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a house, but that's part of your portfolio.
Yes.
And you need to diversify your portfolio. So you're not only invested in land, you have to invest in stocks and other things as well.
Yes.
Bonds and whatever, real estate, private equity.
Yes.
Just try and diversify your asset classes as much as you can.
So you're all for diversification?
I'm all for diversification.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of my overall portfolio, yes. But
Yes.
when it comes to stocks, I'm more of a person who makes concentrated bets.
Yes, I think that's been proven.
Yeah.
And our stock market as well, right?
Yes.
I mean, some shares have outperformed so incredibly that if you miss that,
you're missing the whole.
You're missing the
exactly.
whole play.
So if you're not investing in that stock, and all the
Yeah.
other managers are, then you're not going to be performing that particular quarter.
Peter, I'm really grateful for this interview today.
No problem.
And we look forward to continuing our conversation.
For sure.
And thanks for sharing such interesting thoughts, actually.
No, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks. Take care.
At UAP, we enhance lives across Africa to deliver the dreams we all hold so dear. Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP, better, simple life.